Alright, morning guys. It is Wednesday, August. The point is we're 3 days out from the competition because we got today, Thursday, Friday, which is the final day. That's the day of the athletes meeting and all that fun stuff. And then Saturday is the comp. So 3 days out. Let's get started. So, as you can tell, I am dark-ish. Yesterday was the first day that we did the first coat of Pro-Tan. I don't know, for those of you guys that don't know, Pro-Tan is kind of like a tan in a can. So it's this thing that you can just kind of like put on. You can get at bodybuilding.com for like 15 bucks. And then Friday is going to be the real spray tan. It's going to be the night after the athletes meeting. Then Saturday morning, we're going to have another spray tan or touch up. So, and that should be it. So we've got 3 coats of Pro-Tan, 2 coats of real spray tan. As you can tell, I'm fairly lean. Here's a little physique update. So the first thing I do every morning, which is kind of what gets me out of bed, is I do daily weigh-in. This is the only time that's kind of standardized. This is before any food's into you. All your bodily functions. That way, it's extremely standardized, and you're gonna get the exact same like stage of your body every single day. You know. Yeah, and I'm always excited to get low weigh-in. So sometimes, even though I don't want to get out of bed because it's cold and it's morning and I gotta go to work and all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, new low weigh-in, even if it's 2 pounds or 0.2 pounds, or at least prospective of a new low weigh-in. Okay, so 173 pounds for a guy at 6 feet. That's fairly good. My goal all along was to hit about 173, 175. Last year, the lowest I ever got was like 176, and then the weight went right back up because it started, I was starting to go a bit crazy, especially food-wise, because I've never done a contest prep. So the low carbs started to fuck with my mind. So this year, this close to the competition, I mean, we're 3 days out, my weight is still steadily decreasing. This isn't the lowest weigh-in I've had. I weighed in about 171.6 about a week ago, but this is still pretty good. It's, fairly consistent, and it's probably gonna go down even more once we cut out all that crazy sodium and water loading, which I'm doing right now. Okay guys, I just got out of the shower, cooked my breakfast, and here's a little summary of what I made today, 3 weeks out prior to the competition. So we got an omelet. This is 1 whole egg and 3 egg whites. We got some of these like maple leaf top dogs. So they're about like 5 grams each of fat and 6 or 5 grams of protein. I think 1 carb. So they're like a nice little meat source, especially now I always find I'm getting less fat than I need. So this is like a little fat source. Water with some meal in it. And then I got one of those apple cinnamon 1 oatmeal packet. So the carbs are still kind of low, but I need something to get me through the day. And another important thing is I am salting the crap out of all my food. Part of the reason why I'm doing that is sodium depletion. This is a long story, but pretty much, some bodybuilders like to do in the beginning of the week prior to a competition. They're going to keep their water intake and their sodium intake. Water, in the body, sodium actually is the ion that brings in water into the body. You can't have one without the other. And then you're going to keep your water intake and sodium intake very high earlier in the week. We're talking like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a little bit into Wednesday. And then what happens is Thursday, you drop water and you drop sodium. So you're going from like 5,000 milligrams a day down to like 2,000 milligrams or less. And then Friday, the day before the show, you want to be consuming like as little water and as little sodium as possible. We're talking like 1,000 milligrams or lower. The reason you do that is because first of all, you loaded water and you loaded sodium in the week. So kind of like, I don't know the exact like scientific reasoning behind it, but you're pissing water out. Your water cycle is like increased. Take water in, take water out. Take water in, take water out. The thing is, your body's kind of like delayed almost by like a day or two. So what happens is you cut the sodium, you cut the water, and you're still going to be getting that water out, flushing it out of your system, but nothing, because the thing is like, oh yeah, you know, you're gonna get more in because you've been doing that for the last couple of days, but you're not. So what ends up happening is your body kind of dries up. And then you get a little bit of more of a drier look on stage. Again, this is going to result in like maybe an increase of like a couple percent increase in your physique. But the thing is, those couple percent could mean the difference between like first or third place, you know, third or fifth. It's not going to get, you know, some people say like, oh, I'm holding water, but they're just fat. That's it. In that case, nothing's going to save you. If you're going to be 20th place, no amount of sodium magic is going to, you know, boost you up to like the top 3. Yeah, so today we are still climbing a little bit high in sodium, and then you know, tomorrow and Friday, close to the show, we are going to be cutting sodium and water out. That is until the day of the show, where literally like the morning of, you are supposed to start, in addition to loading carbs, you're going to start loading a bit more on water and sodium, because first your muscles are going to dry up, but at the same time they're going to get very flat. It's like a double-edged sword. You look, you know, lean and ripped, you look like a dry little prune, but the key word is little. And what ends up happening is you look like flat and shitty on stage. So while your body's still got that dry look which you got overnight and over like, you know, Thursday and Friday, you load up with carbs, you have like a big meal, you load up with sodium. We're talking 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium in that one meal. And you know, you start drinking water like a normal person, and that's supposed to help you fill out but keep that dry look. There's all this weird crazy shit that happens on the day of. I got this protocol from Layne Norton's Peak Week. It's a very popular article used for natural bodybuilding especially, to prepare in the final 6 to 7 days prior to a contest. So that's it, guys. This is my little balcony view. We're in downtown Toronto. You can actually see the CN Tower from there. Yeah, there it is. And just to the left, you start to see the whole downtown complex. There's a lot more buildings off to the left you just can't see because it's blocked off. But yeah, you'll see like the financial district and the whole downtown core and everything. And I work like right there. Alright, boom! Suddenly the bodybuilder is gone and the regular business guy is in, all changed, set up, ready for work. And one thing I forgot to mention, guys, is I still take creatine in the morning. Some people cut out creatine prior to a competition. I think that's useless. I've talked about it in videos before, but creatine is saturated in the muscle and not in subcutaneous tissue, so you don't really actually have that bloated water effect that some people talk about. So, you know, why not? I mean, it keeps you full, gives you energy. I'll never go off creatine, whether I'm cutting, bulking, whatever. And some people also take a pre-workout. That also doesn't really matter. Creatine needs to saturate in your muscles. That takes hours and days. So the difference of a couple hours you take in a day, it's not going to make a difference. Some people think like, oh, but it gives me energy. Yeah, in like 5 days if you saturate it. So after that, it's like taking a drug. Doesn't matter when you take it, as long as you keep on giving that supply into your muscle. Doesn't matter. You can take it breakfast, lunch, dinner. I usually take it with a protein shake, but these days I'm cutting protein out a little bit, at least in shake form. So, bobs up. Another thing, guys, that I'm constantly doing is, because I'm drinking so much water right now, you know, it's kind of boring. I'm always using Mio. Adds some taste to it, makes this process a lot simpler. In addition, I've been eating a lot of these Quest protein chips. They're pretty good. The macros are crazy. And plus, you know, I need some sodium right about now, so it's the good combination of Mio water and Quest protein chips. But yeah, but like I said, I mean, the macros are, I think, 2 grams of fat. Yeah, there they are. 2 grams of fat, 21 protein, 5 carb. That's like nothing. This thing is pretty much made out of egg whites, if I remember correctly. Okay, guys, here's the final workout before the competition. This happened to be a chest day. Now, one thing I want to mention is obviously the weights are not the greatest, but there's a reason for that. The thing is, you may not realize how weak you are in the final days or weeks before a competition. And the problem is you might end up trying to blow through a couple reps, which you might not be able to do so. This is very dangerous because you might get stuck in a rep And that isometric contraction is when most of the injuries happen. The reason being because your muscles can't go through the exercise and recruit more and additional muscle fibers. So what ends up happening is this. Keep an eye out right here on this area in the pectoral. Oh snap, what the fuck was that? And this is the result of it. So guys, you can see why I'd rather play it safe this close to the competition and maybe take it a bit easy on the weights.